Welcome. This is the first episode of Minority Report, and I'm joined here. I'm still thinking about the name, but this is, I'm joined here with Nathaniel.
Hello.
Um, but yeah, so this is just a little podcast that I started on doing, just where we can just talk about the stuff that's been going on in our lives and stuff like that.
Stuff in general.
Yeah, stuff in general. Take it away. So how you been?
I've been good. Surviving. I should say surviving. Really.
There's a whole ass war going on right now, though.
Tell me about it, man. It's crazy. It's just so crazy to see stuff like that happening.
Yeah, and like it's unbelievable. It's surreal.
Yeah, because you think that people would like not want to start war, not even want to.
Especially when there's nuclear
bombs.
Shit,
Like
yeah.
it just reminds me of that scene from G.I. Joe.
Oh, I've never watched it.
Oh my gosh, how have you never watched it? Well, there's a scene from G.I. Joe, literally, where they nuke London itself and like all of London gets destroyed.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it just reminded me of that scene when they were talking about World War III, and I was like, oh.
Who fired the nuke?
See, it's been such a long time. I can't remember the name of the organization. It was crazy. They took over the whole nukes, all the nukes, and they had to get back. G.I. Joe's agency had to get back, but
I thought G.I. Joe, this whole time I thought G.I. Joe was a person,
nah,
It's the whole agency.
whole agency.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But just for for this podcast, I kind of mainly just want to, it's basically a podcast where you can just like show your parents, your Asian parents. I'm trying to like be more diversified in the future, but as of now, I'm going to just mainly talk about, I said we'll talk about in general, but I want to talk about stuff that you can show to your Asian parents who are just really stubborn, and just to show them a third perspective, basically, like all the Asian common struggles that we will go through. So, yeah, like how's dating for you?
Dating, it's kind of on and off sometimes. I just feel like for me, it goes from good to bad to weird, and then sometimes, because like you meet some weird people out there, and then you feel like you're getting along with someone, but like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm starting to get into it, and I just feel like I need to take a step back, and I just don't continue it after that. So I think that I'm probably something wrong for me at least, but I don't know. I can't stay fixed on it. I don't know why. What about you?
Well, technically, I'm not really dating no one right now.
Not dating anyone?
Nah, I'm not trying to date anyone. Like, trying to do this podcast, trying to do like my other YouTube stuff, and I've got a little part-time work on the side. So
You're a busy man.
I'm a busy man. Like, I used to want to chase women, and I used to want to date women.
I mean, that's everyone.
That's literally everyone. And
at
then,
the start.
yeah, at the start, when you're young and you're going through puberty and that. But now it's more like I change my priorities, and yeah, it's kind of like I'm just gonna try and be the best version of myself.
Does it feel better for you to do that?
Yeah, definitely.
Have you noticed anything different?
I have noticed. I have noticed a lot in terms of my apparent attraction to females. But I don't know if that's because Asian is kind of like being Asian is kind of like being fetishized right now in trend.
Yeah.
Or it's just because I'm like
handsome guy.
Yeah, just because I'm a guy and I am
No homo.
attractive. So I haven't been able to distinguish at the moment. But as far as I can say, I feel a lot more proud in myself that I have a goal, I have an aim. I know what I really want to do now. In terms of like, I want to create a legacy that, a podcast like this, so someone can remember me by in the future. I don't want them to remember me by something that has a negative connotation, or I don't think anybody does,
Yeah.
But this is what I really want to build my legacy on. So shout out to all the other Asian dudes in the living UK right now struggling with dating, because I heard that we are the least liked.
Was it Asian? Well, I mean, I don't know. It's Asian, but
Yeah, Asian.
Wasn't
I
it?
don't know if it's South. I think South
think it was
Asian is
South
pretty
Asian.
close with East Asians in terms of dislikability. I ain't gonna lie to you. We're pretty close. Like just Asia as a whole, we're not that liked on Tinder. Like by the West, anyways. But even it's funny because in my opinion, I don't know how true this is, but what I've seen is Asian girls from Asia, unless if they had an opportunity to like explore, they would prefer to date a white guy or someone just from the West. Like everybody's trying to branch out. Like one of my favorite comedians, Russell Peters, shout out to him. He said like everybody's mixing. Like everybody's mixing. Eventually no one is gonna be white, no one's just gonna be black, no one's just gonna be, well actually no, everyone's gonna be tanned. That's what he said. And I was like, that's kind of true, because with fucking no, actually it's my own podcast, I'm gonna swear. With like modern transportation, airplanes and all of that, like Instagram, it's so easy just to find someone new who's not even in your area. Like, and I think that's one of the reasons why like modern day dating has been so hard. Because people are, in my opinion, people are like filled with this abundantness of options.
They've got so many options. To add on that, the point that you were talking about how people were mixing, I just feel like we're probably already mixed. Like everyone at this point is mixed. Like
cultures are being mixed.
Mixed completely.
Yeah.
Like majority of the time, people share these cultures now, like different cultures, and create new cultures.
Yeah.
So
that's very true. That's very true. There are obviously still some people that are lagging behind, but it's in due time. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. By the way, like 21st century is going, and like how you can meet literally anyone from anywhere in the world.
Easy.
Mixing is inevitable. But yeah, just to circle back, and I think that is one of the main reasons why it's so hard to be loyal these days, for men and women. Like, because every scroll, every
like,
every
comment,
it's like you see, another baddie, another good-looking dude. It's like you start feeling with your brain, like that. It can be replaced.
The grass is always greener. Is that?
The grass is always greener on the other side. So it's like when you are in a relationship, you're not exactly fully committed, because in the back of your mind, okay, if this one fails,
I've got a new one.
I could get a new one just like that. But I would say it's a lot easier for girls, for obvious reasons, to replace guys instead of the other way around. Like, because guys just, I still think a lot of guys would cheat, but they will settle
because they know they can't.
They know they can't get anyone like serious like that as easy. But they might cheat. Like that's why a lot of you hear a lot of stories of guys cheating at the strip clubs and shit. But the strip clubs, they're not necessarily someone new who's like a serious.
Yeah.
So they're cheating at the strip club. So it's more like it's like a temporary kind of thing.
Temporary validation.
Temporary validation. Oh, okay. I can still pull. I still got game.
Fine, but it's the strip club.
Yeah, you're everybody pulling.
If you're not pulling, you're not paying then.
Yeah. Facts. You always gotta give something to get something in those environments. But with like a lot of these ladies, though, I ain't gonna lie. Like a lot of these ladies have very high standards.
Do you think it's men's fault because of these occurrences?
Or the high standards?
The high standards.
I don't want to pin it on a gender. I just want to kind of say that it's just because it's how technology has advanced. Like that's my the filters, the angles, the lighting. Yeah, like
it's everything, man.
The abundance of options makes you feel like you can
always get a new one
and set your bar really high.
Yeah.
because you feel like there's the pool of people that you can date is very high. So why am I gonna set my standards low? Do you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
if your standards are low, then you're not necessarily picking up for the best. So you're trying to go for the best.
But do you think that's an issue, having your standards too high though? Because
I think it is.
a lot of, like, you're seeing a lot of people complain about dating and this and that.
Yeah.
Just because they can't, like, I've seen those videos where some guys just saying, oh, I can't get any girls, this and that. Maybe their standards are, do you think their standards are too high, or do you think?
No, I think for the guys, the reason they can't get girls is not because their standards are too high. There are guys who are with high standards. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of guys with, well, I wouldn't say a lot. There are guys with standards, but they'll still settle.
Yeah,
They're
more likely.
they're more likely to settle
Yeah.
if they find a girl that's just attractive. They might, even if she might not have all the other qualities that he was looking for from the get go.
Yeah, if she was
he'll
just
settle.
average, and then like she has like other characteristics
Yeah,
that
yeah,
fit his
that-
needs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a
But
wrap.
of the girls, because I feel like the girls are more stuck in their standards, so they're not looking at guys' ways who the guy that you're just talking about. The reason why he's finding it so hard is because the girls that he's looking for, he doesn't fit their criteria. He
Yeah.
doesn't fit their standards. That's why dating has been so hard. And I think, like, it is what it is. At the end of the day, like, you know, it's kind of like an evolution in a way, like evolution of dating. From back in the days, you gotta be strong, you gotta be tall. You still gotta be like that.
Yeah.
But you gotta be able to hunt. You gotta make sure that you're gonna be able to survive, bring up a family. But now it's a bit more different. Now it's more like who's got the most clout,
More money,
more money,
more
who-
status.
Yeah, so it's still survival of the fittest. Like, as bad as it sounds, there are not everyone, like, I've heard the statistic somewhere. I don't know how true it is, so take it with a grain of salt, guys. But I've heard that 99% of women, of the women's species, of females, have procreated, whereas only 40 to 50% of guys have procreated. So
That's crazy to think
so
about.
50% of guys have never had a baby. They probably had sex. They probably, you know, got some, you know, vag here and there. But it's like no women wanted to marry them or have kids with them. They might marry them, but they might not end up having kids with them or whatever.
I mean, like with things like that, it is literally survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
At that point, like you need to.
It's
have
either
that-
you
that
raise to the top.
qualities.
Yeah.
That's why you need to develop the qualities and right structure in order to look more appealing.
To the
to-
opposite. The gender you're attracted to.
Yeah. So like, what do you think of the red pill then?
Well, the whole red pill community in itself right now has, I would say, it has been over flooded. It's been very overpopulated right now. It started off as a good idea, like helping men improve on themselves, telling men, listen, change your priorities, stop chasing the women, like don't make them a priority, because when you make the women a priority, you're no longer their priority. So be the best version of yourself that you can be, self-improve, self-awareness, and have the ability to critically think for yourself. But now I think that was the original message.
Yeah.
That was
that
the
too.
original message of the red pill, just to not fall into this trap of like being comfortable
Yeah.
just the way you
Always
are.
pushing you. over
Always
the
trying
edge.
to be better.
Yeah.
That's basically, I think that's what the red pill was
100%.
about. But I think now it's been kind of switched. I wouldn't say switched, but it's been
I think they
Molded.
focus. They now like it's more on the women, critiquing the women,
yeah,
and just more talking about the women instead of
yeah,
what you should be putting in.
yeah. Like how it's like, instead of trying to be the best version of you as a guy, you're trying to more focus on, okay, how do I
Get these women.
get these women? Like,
Yeah.
it's been the whole, and I think that's why there's a lot of negative stigma now around the red pill, even though I don't think there should, like, as undoubtable, there are some bad apples.
Yeah, you should
bad,
critique it. You should still be able to critique it. Like
yeah,
fundamentally, it needs to be like the common phrase goes. It's like, you know, your answer or solution is good when it's been tested, when it's been critiqued, where someone's gone against it and you've been able to win it with a sound, logical response or whatever
Yeah.
to prove your point. So I don't know. Right now, I feel like it's been a shit show. To be
Yeah.
honest, because I just think they had most majority of the content has been focused on women, but low key, I don't blame it. I don't blame the creators too much. I okay, they do deserve some
Hate.
blame. Yeah, some blame and critiques.
Yeah, I would
But
say hate, but blame.
I feel like the audience need to also like realize you're feeding into it.
Yeah.
Cause like I remember watching I think it was MTR. Shout out to MTR.
Yeah. Mediocre.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, he was literally. I remember him on the live chat talking about what gets more views was like talking about girls, critiquing girls or whatever. Than
then
him
telling men to self-improve.
self-improve to level up, and that
Yeah.
and also the roommates brilliant content as
Yeah.
well, but also saying the same thing. What gets more views was the trash talking, and I think
Yeah.
the reason for that is we have these negative emotions that we love to hold on to, like misery loves company, and I feel like you go through that red pill rage where you're just angry at women at first,
Yeah, for having this crazy.
these standards, but it
Standards.
makes
It is
sense.
what it is. Like
Yeah,
it's,
you
it's
just
been
need to-
like this from the beginning.
Exactly, you
We're the generation of men that have been complaining about it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? The older men
went through it.
went through it. They had to.
They had to.
They had no voice. But so it's either you fucking level up or you die out.
Yeah, or
So-
complain.
But now it's like, oh, you know, we're trying to like tell women, nah, you shouldn't have this such a high standards. Don't get me wrong, there are some women with crazy standards, because for you to have those, like, if you want untouchable, be untouchable.
Yeah,
But a lot of these women aren't like they want these high standards, but they're not them high themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's when I feel like it's a bit like, you need to chill, darling. Like I get it, you want the best, but
if you're not the best,
if
how
you're
can you
like,
get
if
the
you
best?
can't, like, what can you provide for the best? Like, if you want the best, why does the man really need you? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because like a relationship is you're
give and take.
yeah, it's what's the word I'm looking for? You're complementary. You're complementing each other in a relationship, a healthy one, anyways.
Yeah.
Like, you're complementing each other. So it's what can you offer to the best guy that you found that he doesn't have? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what can you really offer besides your looks? Because I agree with the saying that beauty is very common nowadays, with the filters, with the makeup. Beauty is very common. Like, there are a lot of pretty girls out here, but there are not that many best guys by definition.
Yeah,
If they're the best,
there's never been like
there's
always-
never been perfection
and
of a guy.
I'm not even
but
talking about perfection, but like the level of guys, the
That
amount
they're
of
looking for.
guys.
Yeah, yeah.
There's always like
supply and demand.
like those guys are very hard to get, and
Yeah.
those guys are having multiple people.
Multiple people on the side.
Exactly. So they're competing. They're even competing with other girls at that point.
Yeah.
So it's always been hard, and I think it will always be hard. So
Mm.
it's one of those things where I feel like when they have high standards, you should let them have high standards, because they will crash and burn, and they will.
Mm. That's the thing. I
and they
don't
will
want
learn.
them to crash and burn.
Sometimes
'Cause-
you just gotta let people go, man. You just have to let them go and like let them learn for themselves. Because some people just won't take it in and won't listen to like information like that. They just have to learn. They have to learn it through themselves.
It's just sad though, because some people never get that lesson, and when they're in their 40s, they look back, they're like, "Damn." Well, this for the women's perspective, like, once you get to 40, like, you're not like you're not gonna be successful in terms of like, well, you are gonna be successful, but your dating pool completely shrinks. Like, the best guy that you were competing for, like, he's no longer in your dating pool. Even if you want him, he's probably not gonna want you, as bad as it sounds. So, and the same for guys when they're in their 40s, they're like, yeah, they got those money, but how many of these girls really love them for them? Do you know? So it's like there's a small window of opportunity for both genders to look for the best guy
Or best girl.
or best girl that they can get. And it's like, once you pass that, you gotta think about lowering it. You gotta realize, okay, what situation I'm in now. Like, okay, I no longer have the power I used to have when I was young, or when, like, you know, attractive or whatever. So now I gotta lower my standards just
And
a bit.
Yeah, just to find the right person.
Yeah. So, but it sounds like settling.
See, do you think settling's bad?
No, I don't think settling is
People
bad.
love to hate on settling, man.
Yeah,
They
like
really love to hate on it. I don't know why. Like, okay, maybe sometimes here and there, but I don't know. Like, depends on your. I feel like it really depends on your standards. It's not
yeah,
that
like
bad.
are we talking about settling with a bum, or are we talking about settling with a guy who he might not have his money together, but he's still got an ambition. Like he's like you could tell he's working towards, but everything else about him, he's good. He's a decent guy. Like he's actually a good guy. He's not a douche.
Yeah.
Like if you're settling for a douche, okay, then I'll be like, okay, cool, you shouldn't settle.
Yeah.
But like, if you got a guy who will treat you right, or a girl will be there for you, she might not be the best looking, but
Yeah. She's just,
like
someone's got your back. Then
someone's got your back.
Someone's
Like
got your back. You
love
should
is
be happy.
love is hard to find. Like why does it like
Love is
why
not
care?
consistent. Like you'll fall out of love and fall back into it. Like it's not consistent.
Nah.
You just need some like commitment, some loyalty. That's what you really need. I feel like you just need someone who's got your back
Yeah.
and who will care for you.
Yeah. And I think that's why the marriage back in the days, in my opinion, they didn't necessarily marriage for love. They didn't marry for love, sorry. They married for like duty.
Yeah.
So, being like being a dutiful wife or a dutiful husband, like gender
Family.
roles.
I think it was more for family.
More for family, for
family,
sure.
and
More
then
less for like, oh, I love you,
individualism.
you love me, let's get married, kind of shit. So, but now it's more about loving them, but love fades.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately,
what I'm
love
saying.
does fade. Like you're not
It
gonna.
comes and goes.
Well, I would say comes and goes, but it won't be as strong.
Yeah.
Like that intenseness,
Will it
it will
always
mellow.
Yeah, it won't.
It will mellow down, and with that mellowing, okay, you no longer with that mellowing, you might not be able to. There are certain qualities of that person that you might not be able to tolerate anymore.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, cool. If you are only married for love, and you get to a point where you're mellowed down to the point where, okay, this person is annoying me because he or she is doing this certain thing, then you don't have anything else to hold you guys together, to glue you guys together, because you married for the good qualities that you saw,
But not for the also.
not for the bad ones.
Because you need to marry for everything.
You got to marry for everything. So I think marriage is a sticky situation these days, and I don't know the statistics on how many people get married, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to back in the days. And even if they do get married, the chance of divorce is super high. And I think this goes back to the chance, the abundanceness of options. Because even if just because you marry, don't mean you're not looking for options, or don't mean you ain't got no options no more. So even while you're married, there's still options for you potentially, depending on your age and like your status and stuff like that. So even if you're married, you could still literally jump out of marriage and find someone else. And even while you're in marriage, you could be swayed easier. There's like just Instagram in itself is. Instagram, I always say Instagram is a fucking dating app, bro. It's a dating app. Like, that's one of the best dating apps out there. Like, it's best
A lot
because
of people shooting their shots, man.
yeah, a lot of people shooting their shots. And what's best about it is because it's not labeled as a dating.
As a dating app is just
It's just an app. It's just an app where you post pictures of yourself and
to look appealing.
but
show
you're not
off your
necessarily
lifestyle.
out there to try and get laid or try and find a partner. You're just
It just
there
happens.
to you just
It just
posting
happens.
pictures of yourself having fun. But
People see it.
people see it, they're
Get
like,
interested and say, yeah.
yeah. So it's like it's low key, definitely a Instagram. It is definitely a sorry guys, but yeah, man, Instagram is. Have you got many DMs?
See, I'm a private guy. Like I have my account on private.
You don't even use DM like that. Insta like that.
I really don't. I try to not use Insta too much because I just don't want it to take my time, and I'm not really using it to like for any like to get money really, or to really.
So there's no really use for it.
Yeah, it's just
You don't need branding or anything.
Yeah, I literally just have it there just to talk to my friends. And honestly, I only try to stay on Insta when I'm talking to my boys or some girls and here and there, just to my friends really. So I don't try to use it for
Dating
for
purposes.
date. Not really dating, or I just don't try to use it too much. But sometimes
It's
I
not
do.
that appealing. That app is not appealing to you.
Yeah, I feel like the more I could spend time on it, but like when I spend time on it, I just feel like I've done nothing with my time. I feel like I've just been spending a couple minutes. I'm just like, why am I here? What is this? What's the point of this? Like, I need to do something else. Need to get to work. Need to do some workout. Like, it's just
Working out is. I've been struggling working out because I've been so busy. Like,
it'd
and
be
it's like
that,
I don't have that much energy, bro. I ain't got that much energy. Real talk. Like, I'm not old, but I feel old as fuck, bro.
You're making yourself feel old. I feel like maybe it's just because you just don't work out.
Maybe
Or you
I don't
just
have that much testosterone.
What do you mean by that, bro? You got some estrogen?
Pause.
You got
Pause.
some estrogen?
Nah, no estrogen, bro. No estrogen. Just low testosterone, G. No, low testosterone.
Okay.
But
Looks like you might need to be eating some meat, some vegetables.
maybe I need some spinach action.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Sorting out the equipments and that, we're still, kind of fresh. So there's areas we gotta improve. But if you guys watched it over here, like all this time, then drop a like in it. Hit us with that follow. I'm considering starting a new channel, calling it the Minority Report or Minority Chat. I don't know which one is better. So you guys, help me out in the comments. Just let me know. But yeah, let's wrap up. Let's wrap up. So
Yeah.
I just want to say, I want to bring it back to this whole circle in terms of like how being Asian is kind of like in the UK.
What's it like? I personally don't know. I'm not
mean,
Asian.
yeah, clearly. I
Yeah.
mean, you could be.
Could I?
Yasuke-san.
Yasuke. Yeah.
I mean, even though you don't use Instagram, I'm gonna link your Instagram in the bottom, anyways.
You probably won't see me. You won't see me.
I mean, he does have a naked picture out there, up there.
I'm deleting.
Semi-picture.
It's not naked. Don't. delete it.
Semi naked.
It's getting deleted. Don't worry.
It ain't getting deleted.
literally-
I'll make sure he doesn't delete
It's
it.
not gonna be there. When you go onto the page, it'll be private and there'll be 0 posts.
We'll see. We'll see. Well, growing up here in the UK, I moved here when I was around 8. And I was a freshie, bro. I mean,
Of course.
everyone, I barely knew any English. I know hello, hi, how are you? Like, even with the accent, I'm pretty sure I had any accent. I don't remember if I had an accent.
You probably did.
Yeah. So I was getting picked on a lot because Asian wasn't exactly in fashion back then. Being Asian was quite the opposite. Like, oh, you were making fun of Jackie Chan, all that stuff. Now that looking back, like we had good stereotypes. Like some of them. There were some bad stereotypes in there, but like the only bad one I can think of is we got smooth dicks. That's the only bad one we got. But the rest is more like, oh, you know Kung Fu, you know how to play piano, you're good at maths, you're super smart. Like, those are good things to me now that I think about it. But obviously when I was young, I didn't want to get picked on by those things because no matter what you're trying to pick on me for, you're picking on me. That's the mentality I was thinking. Obviously I was young and I was a bit introverted, so any little criticism coming my way,
It felt like an attack.
Yeah. And plus, I wasn't really speaking the language.
You didn't really understand.
Exactly.
It felt like you were.
Yeah.
They might have said something even worse.
Exactly. The humor was different. The sarcasm is different. So I couldn't really tell like the joke. And plus, I was 8 years old, fam. I barely dabbled in any humor or jokes with anyone. So that's that. But as time went on, I came out my shell, and I think everybody, like you living in one bubble in terms of like being introverted, I wouldn't say it's harmful, but it's not wise. I think you should try and at least
branch out
at some point in your life. Try and be
with different people.
Yeah, different group of people, different friends, different community, different environment, just in general. Like you be introverted at one point and then extroverted as another point.
Yeah, try
And
it out. But
try
it's,
it
it's
out.
gonna it's gonna be hard for the introverts to really
For sure.
branch out. I just
Start again. Yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be really hard. But I don't know if it might be easy for me to say this because I came out of it, but I think it isn't necessarily that hard to try and like make yourself out there, just meet new people. Like, there's people always shit on going to cinemas or food places
Alone.
but on your own. Like,
yeah.
I love doing that, bro. Like, I fucking love doing that. And the thing with me is, this is what I appear, I think. I appear extroverted as fuck, but deep down, I'm hella introverted. So I appear extroverted to people who don't know me. But when they're around me and they spend enough time with me, they find out, oh, yeah, this guy is pretty, he doesn't like,
Involved. He's outgoing.
yeah. He is
It's
not
cool.
that outgoing he's not what I expected. So, and it's like, I love going out by myself, bro. I love people watching. That sounds weird as fuck, but I love people
Yeah, it
watching.
does. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I think watching people is very interesting.
Yeah.
Like sitting down and just watching what people are doing, just even like when you're having a conversation to them, listening to what they're saying, I think it's so impactful. And it's just good to listen to what other people think
For sure.
sometimes.
For sure. Like, try and keep an open mind.
Yeah.
Like with this whole war going around right here, and I'm gonna wrap it up here, but like with this whole war right now going around, Russia has their reasons, Ukraine has like their reasons, and it's like, I want to listen to both sides, but I know that killing is wrong at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't, but it's been like this since the beginning though. Like, killing is wrong, but we got here by killing. Like,
Yeah.
like think about like the UK and shit like that. Do you really think they
The
will be
amount
telling
of
them
empires
the
that
empires?
they've taken,
Yeah, like,
things they've taken, like
but they're trying to tell like, Russia, like, chill, like, you're
Don't.
mass genociding. But what about when you guys were mass genociding?
exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? And the same like with like Ukraine, and I don't know exactly the reason they're going to war, so I might be I'm pretty uneducated on this because I don't really like to dabble in politics, but this war will affect all of us, so obviously I have to. So like Russia has their reasons, and it's like people are all shitting on Russia like because they're killing people, but it's like they probably have their reasons, and
Yeah.
even if it's unjustified in your eyes, it's like, okay, cool. Before you judge Russia, listen to them, and then hear the Ukraine side. Like, I don't know. It sounds bad because when you're in the middle, you can be easily attacked by both sides
Yeah.
of people, and that's what I hate.
I've seen that there's literally this meme of the right and the left, where I think a person on the left asks, "What side are you on?"
Yeah.
And then they said, "I don't know. I think both sides have a good point.
Yeah,
make good points." And then the left pushes the
I've seen
person in
that
the
meme.
middle,
Yeah, I've
and
seen
then
that
they fall into the right side,
The
and
right
the,
side,
and the
yeah.
right side says, "Oh, you okay?" And the left says, "Why are you with the bad guys?" And
Oh.
it's such a like. I looked at that
Yeah.
meme. It's just so funny because I think that low-key is kind of true.
Yeah. Like, if you're in the middle, you're vulnerable from attacks from
From
both
both
sides.
sides.
So the only way to be safe is
It's
just to
join
one end.
Yeah.
And so your back is against the wall, you're safe.
Yeah.
The only attack that you're coming from is from that angle.
Yeah, from
that,
the front. You don't want to be hit from
exactly
both sides.
from both sides because
No.
you ain't that good at bob and weaving. So
Yeah.
yeah. So, and I hate that that's how it is, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Thing is, I can't remember where I heard this from, but I don't know if this is correct. But I think apparently it was Putin who wanted the Ukraine to join their to be reunited with them or something like that. I think that I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we should talk about too deep because we're not that educated.
Yeah.
So it would be unfair to try and like
really-
throw out shit like that, especially on a podcast like this. And I think a lot of these kind of male podcasts right now are getting shit on because they have this image of like, oh, these guys are trying to mansplain or whatever. Like, listen, guys, it's not like that here. Like, we always keep an open mind here. So we can have a discussion down in the comments if you guys want. But just for this episode, obviously we're talking more generic stuff. But as time goes on, it'll be more focused on like the Asian community in the UK. But just for today, we're talking a bit broad and stuff like that. So yeah, if you want to see the whole video, go on my Patreon. And yeah, I'll post. I mean, you've probably seen this on YouTube, but if you're not, go watch the cut down, the shortened version on my YouTube. Link is in the bio. You'll find it somewhere. But yeah, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I loved it. It was entertaining.
Yeah, bro.
Nice to get back together.
Yeah. New episodes coming out soon because I want to make this my main priority now. So if you guys like this kind of content, just make sure you hit that like button, please. And yeah, I'll see you guys
Later.
I'll see you guys later.
Soon. Very soon.
Safe.